Hare Krishna. I seek permission and blessings of all the assembled Vaishnavas. Apurva Prabhu, thank you. Also, here I feel sheltered at this beautiful temple here at the shelter of Radha Golokananda, and also the blessings of His Holiness Srila Bir Krishna Goswami Maharaj. I have been reading his empathic communication book and feeling very inspired to practice the principles of non-violent communication. Also, this community is blessed with many senior Srila Prabhupada disciples. I consider myself very fortunate to have come here to receive their blessings. And also my sincere gratitude to each and every one of you here for giving me an opportunity to serve you today evening. Thank you. Yesterday evening was the first time I interacted with the members of this community. And to be very honest, in the class yesterday, I had a unique experience. I had many times given the example of Chataka birds who are thirsty for water. You know this Chataka birds example we give? They take only water from the clouds and they are hankering. So I have given examples of Chataka birds many times in my classes. But yesterday evening, almost 100 devotees hearing so attentively, and I was speaking the class and the question answers. I actually got a practical demonstration and experience of what Chataka bird is. The way devotees were hearing, they were like Chataka birds, hankering for Krishna Katha. This kind of ruchi, this kind of taste is exemplary. Trust me. Lord Chaitanya, when he met when he met Pradyumna Mishra, and Pradyumna Mishra wanted to hear Krishna Katha, Lord Chaitanya told him, Krishna Kathaye ruchi tomar bada bhagyavan. You have taste for Krishna Katha, you are most fortunate. Mahaprabhu has declared that Pradyumna Mishra is most fortunate because he has taste for Krishna Katha. Krishna Kathaye ruchi tomar bada bhagyavan. Yara Krishna Kathaye ruchi sei bhagyavan. Whoever has taste for Krishna Katha is most fortunate. So it is a great fortune that because of the enthusiasm and the sincerity of the leaders of this community, we all are getting taste for hearing and chanting. So thank you so much for these exemplary standards. Today I have been given the topic by Aditya Narayan Prabhu, Sravanam, the foundation of Bhakti. So what we are right now doing is Sravanam. Sravanam means hearing about Krishna. Sravanam also includes reading about Krishna. When we study the scriptures or when we speak about the Lord, that is called Sravanam. So it's synonymous, studying and hearing. And this is the foundation of Bhakti. So today we'll briefly discuss what, why and how of Sravanam. So before I say anything further, I'm remembering one anecdote. Actually, it's a true incident that happened in India. One very famous Bhagavat speaker who speaks for 7 days Krishna Katha, in his Pandal, Bhagavat Pandal, there were 45,000 people assembled to hear Krishna Katha. 45,000, because he's a very popular speaker. You know what he did? Something very unique and very interesting. So he started with this bhajan, kirtan before the class. And next to him were 3 giant dolls, all looking alike. Like this, sitting like this. And everyone was curious and intrigued by what are these 3 dolls doing here on the stage? All looking similar. While the speaker is singing his bhajans and is going to start the class. Nobody was looking at the speaker. Everybody was looking at those 3 dolls. What are they doing there on the stage? They knew some mystery is going to be unraveled. Something is going to come now. They waited. The speaker finished his kirtan. He sang Om Ajnana Timirandasya, all the prayers. And then he said, now we'll begin the Bhagavad Saptah. And I know what all of you are looking at. You are looking at these 3 dolls. I have deliberately kept these 3 dolls because these 3 dolls are reflecting all of you. All of you are like these 3 dolls, or one of these 3 dolls. And he made a sign to his assistant who came with a big stick. And he said, the speaker said, almost 90% of you here are like the first doll. So the assistant went with the stick and he put that stick inside the ear of the first doll. As soon as he put, the stick wouldn't go in. He kept pushing it. The stick just wouldn't go in. And he got exasperated and he got exhausted. And the speaker said, see, most of you are like the first doll. Whatever I speak for the next 7 days, it won't enter you at all. And then he said, some of you are like the second doll. And the assistant took his stick and he entered the second doll and he put it inside the ear holes of the second doll. As soon as he put it in, the stick went in, but it came out of the other hole. So the speaker said, many of you are like the second doll. Whatever I speak, you will hear from this ear and it will come out of the other ear. But I want you to be like the third doll. So the speaker, the assistant took his stick and he put it inside the third doll's ear. The stick went in completely, but didn't come out. So the speaker said, please be like the third doll. This is Krishna Katha. Allow the Krishna Katha to enter you, but don't let it come out. So this is Sravanam. Sravanam is not simply hearing. Sravanam is taking it in and doing something with it. See, in India, there are a lot of people who hear, but they hear like a ritual. They don't introspect. They don't meditate. That is a ritual. Shravanam without mananam, Shravanam without introspection is ritual. And there are many people who do introspection, but they don't do Shravanam. They don't hear about the Lord. That is simply speculation. Shravanam without mananam is ritual. And mananam without Shravanam is speculation. Mananam means reflection. See, when we hear, it is the beginning of Bhakti. When we hear, all the things start happening in Bhakti. Love for Krishna, everything will start. But first step is hearing. But I never tell people, oh, you went for the class today? What did you hear? I don't ask them. Because hearing is not the most important. Hearing is the first step. But there is something more important than hearing. And that is learning. So when somebody comes from a class and says, I heard a Sunday Feast class today, it was great. So I don't ask them, what did you hear? I ask them, what did you learn? Learning is mananam. Learning is... See, hearing is what? The subject enters you. That is hearing. Learning means the subject enters you, but doesn't come out. It enters your ear, but after that it enters somewhere else in your system, and it goes there, and from there it directs you, it guides you, it nourishes you, it becomes your best friend. If that is happening with that subject matter, then that subject matter is not simply being heard, it is being learnt. Is it clear? If the subject matter has entered you, that is hearing. But after entering your ears, it enters somewhere else and starts directing you, guiding you, nourishing you, becomes your friend. Then it is learning. And there is something more important than learning also. Shravanam is hearing, mananam is learning, and then there is third step called nididhyasanam in Sanskrit. In English, what it means is hearing, learning, and then third is applying. If you apply even a little, that is much, much better than learning thousands of things. Applying is very important. That is called nididhyasanam. So when we hear Krishna Katha, when we hear philosophy, what did we hear? What did we learn? And what can we apply? And then there is the fourth step called praying or vandanam, which is we come in front of Radha Golokananda, Radha Shyam Sundar Giriraj, and we say, oh Lord, last 1 week I've been reading this, I've been learning this, I've been trying to apply this. Please give me the strength to serve you. So when we add the element of prayer in our culture of bhakti, then that vandanam makes everything auspicious. See, Shravanam is like lighting a fire. When we hear about Krishna, it is like the fire of bhakti. But when the fire is lit from a matchbox, it can immediately get extinguished, right? So therefore, Shravanam is lighting the fire, mananam is, see what do you do when we light a fire like this? Then we immediately put our hand palm like this so that it doesn't get extinguished. So mananam is like protecting the fire. Is it clear? Shravanam is lighting. Mananam is protecting the fire. And Nididhyasanam is seeing that fire is now becoming an inferno. It's going to burn. It's like going to become a blazing fire. That is Nididhyasanam. And Vandanam is when all the dry grasses are burned to ashes. Means all the sinful reactions are burned to ashes by the process of bhakti. So, therefore, all four are important. Shravanam, then Mananam, Nididhyasanam, and Vandanam. And if we keep hearing regularly, then what will happen one day? You will be amazed by how much affection and love you develop for Krishna. You will be surprised. You will surprise yourself. Many of us had no idea about Krishna. We just knew intellectually in India about Krishna. But after hearing, now we actually have affection, devotees. And who is the best example of somebody who fell in love with Krishna completely, simply by hearing about Krishna? Rukmini. She was a young girl. Her father wanted her to be married to Krishna, but her wicked brother Rukmi wanted her to be married to his best friend Shishupal. And Rukmini was saying, no, I don't want to marry Shishupal, but she had no say. So what did she do? She caught one trusted Brahmana, wrote a love letter to Krishna. And she said to the Brahmana, go and give this letter to Krishna. And please tell him to come and take me away. I belong to the lion Krishna, not to the jackal Shishupal. And that letter, how does she begin? She writes beautiful, there are beautiful verses in the 10th canto of Bhagavatam. So one of the first things she writes in the letter is, Krishna, I'm madly in love with you. But you may wonder, we've never met, right? We've never met. We've never seen each other. So how am I madly in love with you? Because Shrutva gunan bhuvana sundara shanvatam te nirvishya karna vivarai haratongatapam rupam drisham drishamatam akhilartalabham tvayachyuta vishata chittam apatrapam me. What a beautiful verse. She says, Krishna, it's not my fault. Shrutva, I heard about you. I'm trapped. If we hear about Krishna, we'll fall in love with, not fall in love, we'll rise in love with Krishna. Shrutva gunan. What did I hear? I heard about your glories from whoever came to our kingdom in Vidarbha, Kundinagram. Shrutva gunan. And I heard. And as I heard about you, I realized, Bhuvana Sundara Shrunvatamte, just by I realized that you are the most beautiful personality in creation. Shrutva Gunan Bhuvana Sundara Shrunvatamte. And this I realized because Nirvishya Karna Vivarai, the subject matter of Krishna entered my ear holes. That was the gateway. Nirvishya Karna Vivarai. And what happened? Haratongatapam. All material desires vanished. And now I can see you in my inner eyes. Rupam drisham drishamatam akhilartalabham. Krishna, I can see you, and now I cannot see anything else or anybody else. I just want to be connected with you. Akhilartalabham. One who gets Krishna has got everything. Now, during those days, girls would not write love letters to boys. That was the culture during those days. Unmarried girls wouldn't write love letters. So Rukmini is thinking that Krishna may start judging me. Who is this young girl? She's impudent. She's writing a love letter to me. She doesn't even know me. She's not met me. And she's unmarried. So she anticipates Krishna may be angry. So she clarifies in the last line. Tvayachyuta vishata chitta apatrapamme. Apatrapamme means shameless. Krishna, don't think I'm shameless girl who's writing a love letter to you. Because Tvai Achyuta, you are responsible for my writing this letter to you. You are responsible. So Rukmini tells Krishna, you are responsible for me writing this shameless love letter to you. So then Krishna may say, well, okay, I see that you are madly in love with me, but why do you want to marry me? Shishupal is good enough. You could marry him. Krishna may say like that. So Rukmini then in the next verse, she clarifies, Krishna, I only want to marry you because there is nobody. I want to marry the best man. And you are best in what regards? Katvam mukunda mahati kulashila rupa vidya vayodravinadam abhiratmatulyam dhirapati kulavati navrinita kanya kale narasimha naralokamano biramam. She says, Krishna, who is equal to you in these following things? Tell me. Only that person I will marry. What are the following things? Katvam. Is there anyone equal to you, Krishna? In Katvam Mukunda Mahati Kula. In family lineage. Sheela in character. Rupa in beauty. Vidya in knowledge. Vayo in youthfulness and chivalry. Dravinada. See, in marriage, in Indian, traditional Indian Vedic culture, all these factors would be considered. Chanakya Pandit says how marriage happens. What are the people? This is funny. Chanakya Pandit's analysis, which happened 5,000 years ago, about how Indian marriages happen. What are the different things people see in a marriage? Amazing insight Chanakya gives 5,000 years ago about modern day marriage also. He says, in a marriage, Varam varayate kanya mata vittam pita shrutam kulamichanti bhandava mishtam annam itare jana. He says, who sees what in marriage? Varam varayate kanya. Boy and girl look at each other and they say, oh, I like him, I like her. So they are looking at each other's beauty. Varam varayate kanya mata vittam. Mother is saying, mother of the girl, does the boy have money? Pita Shrutam, the father says, is he educated? Kulam Icchanti Bandhava, relatives are saying, is he from our community? Is he Marwadi? Is he Gujarati? Is he Patel? But what about the rest of the people who come for the marriage? Mishtam Annam Itare Jana. They are saying, what is the menu? What is for food in the marriage ceremony? So Rukmini is saying, Krishna, you are the best in all these qualities. And who is equal to you? Vidya Vayodravinadam Abhiratma Tulyam. Only one person is equal to you, and that is you. And don't think I am a shameless girl. Who am I? Dhirapati Kulavati Navrinita Kanya. I am a very sober and cultured girl from a very good family. But the most cultured people can go crazy after you. What to do? So then Rukmini is anticipating, oh, Krishna may think, see, she's a typical girl who is flattering me, who is proposing to me because she wants to marry me. And after that, after I get married to her, her real nature will come out. Then she will control me. So Krishna may think like that. That's what Rukmini is thinking. So Rukmini in the last line clarifies, Krishna, I cannot control you. Don't think I'm flattering you. Once you marry me, then I will control you. No, I can never control you because all these qualities I mentioned, they are there. But you are not somebody who has only these qualities. You have one very, very big quality. What is that? Last line says, Kale Narasimha Naraloka Mano Biramam. Your time, your Narasimha. You are a ferocious lion. You cannot be controlled by a simple girl like me. So I'm not going to do anything like that. Please marry me. I know we went on these verses, but all that began with hearing, Sravanam. We need to hear about Krishna, develop this mood. And when we have this culture of hearing and learning from that, and then applying, like for example, what we've discussed so far, what we can apply in our life is we should have a culture of hearing. Like that, every class, there is something we can learn, something we can apply, and something we can pray. And now sometimes it is also a skill, actually hearing, because I've been in the ashram for some years now. I can tell you that sometimes what happens, devotees, we know the subject matter. We think, oh, I know it. I don't have to hear now. Just because I know it. That's dangerous. Even if we know it, we hear it again, because new insights come when the speaker is speaking. The speaker is bona fide. See, when I see somebody like Apurva Prabhu, Mother Urmila here, I've heard so much about her attending classes. So when senior devotees who are Srila Prabhupada disciples, who know all of this, but still they hear a young devotee giving class. That is the culture. And that way we are showing Krishna that we have faith in the process and we are serious devotee. So hearing, see, we may know the subject matter, but knowing is not important. What is important is association with the subject matter. So when we know, but still we are hearing Katha, that means we are associating with Krishna. There is a difference between knowing something and associating with that something. So when we come for a class, we are associating. And how hearing helps and how it, so sometimes I know some devotees have a genuine question. Prabhu, but I already know this. I don't get so excited in the classes. So I will request you to try some techniques which I follow with my friends. There is some disturbance in the microphone. It's erratic. Can I remove this? Hare Krishna. So there is some techniques you can try. I'll tell you this, we discovered once during a yatra. I had gone with a group of 4 friends to make some advance booking in one holy town. And there we settled in a hotel and it started raining heavily. So we couldn't go out to make our yatra arrangements. So I got an idea. This red box, I don't know if you've seen it. There is a box which contains all of Srila Prabhupada's lectures. It's amazing. There are more than 3,000 lectures of Srila Prabhupada. It's an amazing box. And you have a small book which contains the number and the title. So I hear that often. So I thought these 4 friends of mine are there. Let me use something unique today. I said, let us play a game. And they were ready. I said, okay, the game is, next 45 minutes, you will simply hear a class of Srila Prabhupada. So I played the class. I said, no talking, no writing notes. Just be present. So they heard. All of them heard. And I said, if you fall sleepy, you have to get up. You can't sleep in the class. You just have to be attentive as much as possible. So we heard the whole class. After 45 minutes, I said, now we'll play the game. There are 3 rounds. The first round is a round of recall. All of us combined, 5 or 6 of us, we have to recall the entire class. So one of them said, Prabhu, but I didn't write notes. I don't remember. Another fellow said, Prabhu, I also don't remember everything. I said, you remember something? Then I said, before we start the recall round, let me tell you something. All of you will be surprised by what happens in this round. And the surprise, you will surprise yourself that you remember everything. Just see what happens. So I remembered one point, I mentioned that. Then somebody remembered something else. Then somebody remembered something else. And you won't believe it. Although none of us wrote the notes, combined effort, we could recall the entire class. Maybe we missed 1 or 2 points here and there, but that is the power of association. Individually, I didn't have the confidence. I don't have the confidence. I don't have the confidence to remember the entire class. But in that association, because we heard together, we were trying to recall together, we recalled the entire class. And it was fun. So we already heard the class. And now we are recalling. So that recalling also lasted 45 minutes. It was like you take food, but you don't swallow it. You chew it, right? And that's when you relish it. Similarly, when we hear Krishna Katha, after that, when you share with your friends, that's when the chewing happens. That makes it sweet. Shuka Mukad Amrita Dravya Sanyutam. Bhagavatam is sweet because Shukdev Goswami spoke it and then we taste it. Sutta Goswami has tasted it and then he's narrating it. It's like the parrot. The fruit is very sweet, but when the parrot bites that fruit becomes even more sweet. Similarly, somebody has spoken Krishna Katha, then I hear that Katha and then I speak it, it becomes even more sweet. I was saying something. Yeah, first round, recall. So 45 minutes class, then 45 minutes recall. And everybody was finished. I said, okay, now the second round is more exciting. What did you relish in the class? Now here it's a little different round. Take any point that you really liked, that resonated with you, and speak on it for a few minutes. And while speaking or sharing, if there is something similar you heard somewhere else that you want to share, connected to that, you can speak. So somebody said, Prabhu, I relished this particular point of Prabhupada, and I remembered this incident that happened in the life of Bhakti Vinod Thakur. And somebody said, oh yeah, I remember, this Prabhuji said like this once on this point. So then one person spoke, everybody contributed. Then after he finished, then I asked another person, what did you relish in the class? He said, I like these 2 points of Prabhupada in the class. And then we discussed on that for some time. And you won't believe it, this relish round lasted 1.5 hours. Because relish was double time of the class. Amazing, isn't it? And after this, we were all sad. It was like having a big feast. 56 items, chappan book, everybody was satisfied. I felt the third round now is resolve. Based on this class, what can you resolve to make your life better? Is there anything you could make your life better because of this class? So what do you remember, what you relish, and what you can resolve? I also say, what did you learn, what did you like, and what can you live by from this class? For the 3 rounds. So the basically what happened, the class was 45 minutes long. But 2.5 hours was what we spent after the class. And everybody was satisfied. All of 6 of us were satisfied. See, this is extremely important. See, Srila Prabhupada has emphasized a lot on hearing. In fact, in one class, Srila Prabhupada says, where are the devotees? So somebody said they are doing service. Prabhupada said, but this is most important service. I have seen sometimes people say, I can do lot of service whole day, but I can't hear. I find it strange. See, I also can't hear, but I hear as a practice. Because when you hear, you may fall sleepy. That's okay, but there should be a desire to hear. Because ultimately, who are we serving? We are not serving our egos, we are serving Krishna. So if you are serving Krishna and if somebody is glorifying Krishna, we should want to hear about him because we are serving this person. If a man and a woman are in love, they are in a relationship and they are both married now and both are working, and the man says, I'm working for my family, I'm so busy, I have no time to spend hearing about her. And it's her birthday tomorrow and all our friends are going to come and glorify her, but I have no time to hear about her, I'm busy working. It doesn't make sense. If you claim to love someone, you would want to hear about that person also. So we claim we love Krishna. We claim we are serving Krishna. So let us hear about Krishna. It's okay if you fall asleep while hearing about Krishna. At least stand up, hear, do something. See, right now, what is the name? Advait Chandra Prabhu, let's say, just a joke, don't take offense. Let's say I announce now, we are all going to glorify Advait Chandra Prabhu. The class is going to be 1 hour glorification of Advait Chandra Prabhu. All of you can start speaking now. See, if all of us start speaking about him, some of us may sleep in the class. But there is one person in this hall who will never sleep, other than the deities. Who is that person who will not sleep in the class? Right? If he is being glorified, he will not sleep. Why I am giving this example? See, if somebody is glorifying me, I won't fall asleep. But we are glorifying Krishna, so we are feeling sleepy because it's not about me. We have lived our whole life centered on I, me and mine. So now we are trying to be sincere, so it's natural that we'll fall sleepy. It's okay. Don't beat yourself up. Be sincere. We may not be able to hear about Krishna whole day, but that's okay. Inability is not a sign of insincerity. You can still be sincere, although you don't have the ability to hear about Krishna whole day. That's okay. But make some effort. Right? And the rewards are unlimited. You know what the Bhagavatam says? When we hear Bhagavatam class like this, you know who comes to the class? Srila Prabhupada once gave a class in New York. They arranged a big auditorium and they thought hundreds of people would come. Only 4 people came. Devotees were very apologetic to Srila Prabhupada that nobody came for the class. Sorry, Srila Prabhupada. And what did Srila Prabhupada say? Very nonchalantly he said, oh, but there are a lot of people. You didn't see? Narada Muni was there. Brahmaji was there. Vedavyas was sitting in the class. And devotees said, really? They couldn't see. But Prabhupada could feel their presence. So Prabhupada said, whenever Krishna Katha is happening, these transcendental personalities are there. You may not be able to see them. In the Bhagavatam says, the Shaunakadi Rishis, when they are imploring Sutta Goswami to continue, they tell him, Shudrayusham Rinamanga Martyanam Ritamichatam Yopahuto Bhagavan Mrityushamitra Karmani. They say, oh, please go on speaking about Krishna, because when you speak about Krishna, who comes for the class? Kshudrayusham Rina Manga Martya Namritamichatam. We are all dying. So when we are attending a Bhagavatam class, we are all dying. Every second we are going closer to death. But the beauty of hearing is Yo Pahuto Bhagavan Mrityu, the God of death, comes for the Bhagavatam class. Yamraj, Mrityu Shamitra Karmani. Whenever there is Krishna Katha, Yamraj will come through the door and he will sit in the class. Like all of us. He'll be one of us in the class. And he'll also nod his head and he'll keep looking here and there. We all have come for the class. He'll make a note. Imagine Yamraj, the God of death, is in the class and he's looking at all the audience. Okay. Oh, she is there. Oh, he is there. Okay. And later on, God forbid, if due to some inconceivable fate, after we die, our file, we all have a file. All the entry is made there. Imagine that file goes in the hand of Yamraj. So Yamraj will open that file. He will see, who is this? So and so Das. Okay. Hey, I've seen him. His photo will also be there in that file. Yamraj will see that. Oh, I know him. He used to come for that Sunday Bhagavatam class. I've seen him sometimes. Oh, yeah, he comes for that class. Yeah, he used to sleep in the class. But it's okay. He was not sleeping at home. He was coming and he was sincere. I think this file should not be here. Send him from here. Send him to Vaikuntha. See, basically when we are attending Bhagavatam class, we are networking. We are connecting to Yamaraj, Vyasdev, all the great saints. Actually, there is a verse in the Ramayana. When Hanumanji came back from Lanka, you know this? He came with the news of Mother Sita. So then Lord Ram said, you have given me such a great news, happy news. I want to bless you. What can I give you in return? So Hanuman said, just bless me that wherever your glories are sung, let me attend. Yatra yatra Raghunatha Kirtanam tatra tatra krita masta anjalim vashpavari paripurna lochanam marutim namatha rakshasantakam. Wherever Raghunath's glories are sung, Hanumanji comes and sits in the class. Hanumanji is the greatest devotee. See, I'll tell you, I witnessed this personally. This year, Ram Navami, the Ram Navami festival class was given by our temple president, Radha Gopinath Prabhu. He's a brahmachari since 1988. He's serving in the temple. He's 64 years old, very simple sadhu. He gave a beautiful, and Ram Navami festival class, he spoke from Sundarkand, glorifying Lord Ram, Hanuman, Mother Sita. And late night, the class got over. And morning, 5 o'clock, all of us are in the temple, all generally for chanting. But that day, something mystical happened because of some inconceivable services. All 5 or 6 of us were in the ashram floor, 3rd floor of the building. And above the 3rd floor is the terrace, which is completely packed with a net. No bird or animal can come in. And we were shocked. Last 38 years since this Radha Gopinath temple, ISKCON Chowpatty, has been functioning. Nobody has ever seen a monkey. But on this particular day, I saw first a giant monkey walking down the steps of the terrace and coming to the 3rd floor where we were all sitting. And I was shocked. First, I couldn't understand that Hanumanji may have blessed or all that. I just saw it's a monkey. I said, Bandar ki aisi kitse monkey. I picked up my chappal to beat the monkey. And I said, you monkey, how dare you come in? And the monkey coolly walked, completely unafraid. Giant monkey. Just remember, since 1988, this temple is there. Nobody has ever seen a monkey. And here is Ram Navami Katha, glorification of Ram. And this giant monkey comes down and he comes to the third floor. And I start going behind that monkey with my chappal. And the monkey could have gone anywhere. There is a pantry, a lot of fruits are kept there. But the monkey decides to walk and stops right outside Radha Gopinath Prabhu's room. And Radha Gopinath Prabhu's room is open. And he's sitting inside. And the monkey looks at him. And there are 5 eyewitnesses to this. The monkey looks at him and does like this. Some places I exaggerate by saying the monkey did like this, you know. He didn't do that, but he looked at Radha Gopinath Prabhu, waved. And after that, he could have gone ahead, eaten the fruits in the pantry. He could have created a ruckus. Monkeys could have done monkey business. But he turned back because his business was over. He just had come to acknowledge Radha Gopinath Prabhu. He waved at him, and instead of going ahead and exploring the whole floor for fruits, he turned back. And when he turns back, what does the monkey see? He sees me with the chappal. And when the monkey looked back, I just realized what had happened. Ram Navami class, glorification of Hanuman, Ram, and now Radha Gopinath Prabhu. And the monkey looks at him, waves at him. Suddenly it dawned on me that it could be Hanuman. I immediately threw the chappal away. The monkey came close to me, hit my calf muscles, as if to say, chill, man, relax. Don't get so agitated. And then he climbs the steps. He climbs the steps completely cool. You know, he's like completely unaffected, and then he disappears. Now the most shocking, I was so shocked, I ran to Radha Gopinath Prabhu's room. I said, Radha Gopinath Prabhu, Hanumanji has come to acknowledge your class. And immediately, he's a sadhu, he's a saint. He would never take any credit or glory. Immediately, no. This is a monkey which has come from the governor's bungalow. I said, what? Then I gave him 10 logical reasons why it is Hanuman. I said, first, if it is a monkey from governor's bungalow, why didn't he ever come here since the last 38 years? You've been staying here since 1988. How many times have you seen a monkey? Tell me. He said, never. And then I said, there is a net which covers the entire terrace. No bird or animal has ever come in. How come this monkey has entered? And third, why did he come only today? After Ram Navami? And why didn't you go anywhere else? And why did you stop just outside your room? Why didn't you go ahead of, like that? I gave him 10 logical reasons which proves that it is Hanuman. And after that, he just kept his head below and he said, yeah, he didn't have anything to say. And I became ecstatic. I ran to my Guru Maharaj. My Guru Maharaj was in temple that time. No, after that, he came after a few days. I told him, I wanted my Guru Maharaj to certify that it was Hanumanji. Because I was convinced it is Hanumanji. See, I'll tell you whether it is Hanuman or not. My consciousness changed. Because in our temple, we have Hanuman deity. Whenever I go to the temple for Dandavat, I look at Hanuman deity and I suddenly become conscious. You know, it's like, I've come, I'm here. You know, oh Lord, I'm here. And Radha Gopinath Prabhu and me, we are in the same management body meeting. So sometimes we have an altercation, serious differences. Sometimes I get angry in the meeting and suddenly I tell myself, don't get angry with him. He is very close to Hanumanji. He is very close to Hanumanji. So I shouldn't fight with him. He is very close to Lord Hanuman. So anyway, I told my Guru Maharaj, hoping Guru Maharaj would also give a certificate so that then I can broadcast to the whole world that Hanuman came, and my Guru Maharaj said Hanuman came, you know. But I told my Guru Maharaj, this is what happened, and my Guru Maharaj was shocked. He said, really? I've been coming here to this temple since 1986 and I've never seen a monkey here. So then I said, Maharaj, so that means you agree that it was Hanuman? Maharaj just said, it is amazing, what a saint. Radha Gopinath Prabhu is a saint, that he glorifies Lord Ram, and this beautiful giant monkey comes to the temple. Tell me more about him. And Maharaj is hearing very attentively as if he agrees that it was Hanuman. But I wanted him to say that he didn't say it. So after 20 minutes, he was so happy. He said, I'm so grateful to you, Vraja Bihari Prabhu. You made me so happy by telling me about this giant monkey which has come to hear Radha Gopinath Prabhu's class. So grateful to you. So then I said, okay, I was happy that Maharaj is happy, but I was a little disappointed. But then I was leaving. I said, so Maharaj, can I conclude that it was Hanumanji? Then Maharaj looked at me and smiled. He said, you want to confirm whether it was Hanumanji? I said, yes, Maharaj. put fire on his tail, you'll know. Why? Put fire on his tail, because Hanuman, when his tail was put on fire, what did he do? He burned the whole city of Lanka. So then Maharaj joked like that. But anyway, why did I say this? Yes, Hanumanji comes for Ram Katha. Krishna Katha, Yamraj is there, Brahmaji is there. So let us not underestimate the process of, especially in association, live. See, the internet, I also hear a lot of classes on the internet. But I know there is no substitute for physical association. Sometimes even a new devotee gives class and I'm sitting in his class, I get so much more. Because that energy transfer, because this is a process given by our sages. I hear on the internet, I hear many senior devotees, Amoglila Prabhu, Amarendra Prabhu, Nitai Sevini Mataji. I hear all Bhakti Vigyan Goswami Maharaj. I hear all sannyasis. But there is no substitute to this. So let us make this process beautiful and fulfilling by hearing about Krishna regularly. So to summarize, we'll take some questions and comments now. But before we take the questions, I just want to summarize what we spoke, what we discussed today. We began by discussing about Sravanam and how I told the story of that sadhu who kept 3 dolls. Right? So we are not supposed to simply hear, we are supposed to allow that sound to go in. So there is a difference between hearing, learning, and applying. What is learning? How is learning different from hearing? The subject enters the ear and then it directs us, guides us, becomes our friend. And that is learning. And more important than learning is applying. And then after applying, we also offer prayers. That is called Shravanam. Learning is called Mananam. Applying is called Nididhyasanam. And then prayer is called Vandanam. And then we discussed how Shravanam is like fire, lighting a fire. Mananam is like protecting the fire. Nididhyasanam is like seeing the fire turn into a blazing fire. And Vandanam is like that fire burning into ashes on the dry grass. After this, we discussed the techniques of hearing, what I practiced with a few of my friends. Hear the class of Srila Prabhupada, and then what do? Recall, relish, and resolve. Or what we liked, what we learned, and what we can live by. So that is what we discussed. And then I spoke from the Bhagavatam, where Sutta Goswami is told by Shaunakadi Rishi that when Bhagavatam class is going on, Yamraj comes and we can network with him. And when we hear Ram Katha, Hanumanji comes. Even today in India, wherever Ram Katha happens, you will see mysteriously some monkey comes and sits in the class. The whole time you will see some monkey sitting. So many evidence you will find on YouTube. Don't check now, later you can. So you'll find a lot of these mystical stories in India about Hanumanji attending Ram Katha. So like that, if you practice, we spoke about Rukmini. Yes, we spoke about Rukmini also. How Rukmini heard about Krishna and she blames Krishna for her being in love with Krishna. So we can now have some discussions, some comments, corrections, realizations of devotees. Hare Krishna.
Story about the 3 dogs, is that a true story?
I heard it, yeah. I mean, I have not seen that incident, but I heard a story.
Yeah?
Yeah, one sadhu did that 3 dolls. I've not confirmed it. It's a popular story.
What kind?
It's a popular story.
Popular, yeah.
Story.
I just wanted to say thank you for yesterday's class and today's class. How you said so many things, so many complex things, and you simplified them into these, fun examples. So just wanted to say thank you. You gave a lot of answer to my questions that I was looking for. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes,
Hare Krishna.
Sajjad Chandra.
So many times when we hear, right, that ability to retain what we hear, and especially like retaining and just that constant mananam, right? At times when you try to reflect back at a lecture, many times maybe it's due to us like being not so much focused or enthusiastic,
Yeah.
or for some reason, when you try to recall and try to go into further steps of, mananam, thinking about that, Prabhu was here. What are some things he mentioned? Then you just see the visit, but you can't really
Recall.
Yes. So
So what to do about it? Okay, very, very good question you asked. Prabhu's question is, many times we hear but we're not able to recall. And we forget after some time. See, let me clarify one thing. It's okay if you forget. See, I have this verses book. I memorize verses and I put them here. The whole book is there. But when I go back, I've forgotten the verses that I had memorized 3 years ago. Oh, this verse, I can't recall now. But does that mean my effort was waste? See, there is a different formula working when it comes to spiritual subject matter and material subject matter. In your college, in your university, you have to recall during exams, and then you are considered to be intelligent. Here, it's not a recalling, it's association that is more important. In the class also I mentioned, association is more important than knowing. Here, the criteria is not that you remember. The criteria is you try to remember. I quote a lot of verses in my classes. So sometimes people ask me, how do you memorize so many verses? So they expect a mystical answer that, verses is natural for me. I think it's last life. I know some devotees who say, I think it's last life. I know all these verses already. I know some devotees who actually have a past life connection. First time they read the verse, they memorize it. So, but I'm not like that. I memorize a verse, I have to chant minimum 200 times to memorize it. And I actually keep a count of it. And I have a 4 test also to know that I memorized that verse. And then I go on to the next verse. It's sheer hard work for me to memorize one verse. But if I memorized it, and if I forget it, it's a failure. And if I know it, it's a success, then I'll be depressed. For me, the joy is in the act of memorizing, not in achieving the memory. Are you getting what I'm saying? Bhakti is different. In Bhakti Yoga, even if you forget everything, Krishna will give you full marks. Because you chanted that verse for so long. You chanted Bhagavatam verse. We are coming from an academic background, school, college, where we are glorified for memorizing. And we get that mentality in spiritual program also. So don't worry if you don't remember what the speaker spoke, but you associated, you heard, you tried to remember. See, Bhakti is not about struggle, control, figuring out, knowing everything. Bhakti is about receiving. Bhakti is not about achieving, it's about receiving. So when we are in the class, we are receiving grace. I would like to quote one Prabhupada's amazing example here. This is my favorite lecture of Srila Prabhupada. You will find it on YouTube. This is a 15-minute class of Srila Prabhupada called Just Learn to Love Krishna. This is given on July 4th, I think, 1971 in Los Angeles. Although the YouTube lecture will show 30 minutes, but the actual class is 15 minutes, 1-5. In those 15 minutes, Prabhupada has given us the criteria of definition of success for every ISKCON devotee. I've heard this class, I don't know how many times. It gives me a lot of hope. Because Srila Prabhupada speaks about this point about which you said about not knowing, not remembering. He gives this famous story of the South Indian Brahmin who was illiterate and he was reading Bhagavad Gita. And you know what happened? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came there and everybody was making fun of that Brahmin. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw that this Brahmin is crying as he is reading. So I am quoting exact words of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada says in the class, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked this Brahmin, you are illiterate, but you are crying when you are reading Bhagavad Gita. The Brahmin said, I am not reading. I am not crying. I am feeling. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, what is that? The Brahmin said, when I am reading the Gita, when I am seeing the Bhagavad Gita, I am remembering Krishna became driver of his devotee Arjuna. God has become chariot driver. When I think this, then I start feeling Krishna is so kind. Krishna is so nice. And when I feel like this, I start crying. Then Prabhupada paused. So, this is success. We should feel Krishna is so nice. Krishna is so kind. Now, what did this Brahman, did he know? Did this Brahman know all the knowledge? Did he remember all the verses from the Gita? But what was he feeling? Krishna is so nice. Krishna is so kind. That is success. You know, when I spoke this in one class in London, one 11-year-old girl, she raised her hand. She said, Prabhu, but Krishna drove Arjuna's chariot. Krishna is so nice. I don't feel Krishna is so nice because he drove Arjuna's chariot. I said, wait. Krishna is driving your chariot also. She said, what? Then I told her, I looked at the whole audience and I asked this question. I'm asking all of you also. How many of you have ever been on road or train or plane where you're driving your car or you felt you had a close shave? You almost had a fatal accident. Anybody had a close shave? See, so many hands. So who was driving your chariot? Krishna. Isn't Krishna so nice? In fact, this girl also raised her hand. I said, she also had an experience, when she was going in a car, her father was driving and they had a close shave. So I asked her, who was driving your chariot? So Krishna is so nice. Krishna is so kind. If you feel like this, we are success. If you don't remember, it's okay. Okay? Hare Krishna. Anything else? Anybody has any comments? Yes, Prabhu. Keep it close to your mouth. Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
Okay. In LA, Srila Prabhupada was giving a class, and during the class, he started laughing just a little bit. And nobody understood why. And afterward, someone asked Srila Prabhupada why he was laughing. And he said, because Narada Muni has come, and he's very amused to watch I can't paraphrase, the white elephants chanting and dancing here. So we should have a seat for him when he comes. Now as far as I know, they never put a seat in, but he did say that according to something I read about that class,
I heard a similar pastime from Atmatattva Prabhu, who said that during Guru Puja once, Srila Prabhupada started laughing. And he asked Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada, you're laughing? Srila Prabhupada said, yes. What happened? Srila Prabhupada said, I saw Narad Muni in the Guru Puja. That's why I was laughing. So he was shocked. He said, you saw Narad Muni? What was he doing? So Prabhupada said, he was also laughing. So then he said, but why were you both laughing? So Prabhupada said, Narad Muni was laughing, saying that so many of these young boys and girls who are not from Vedic background, they are dancing and chanting. Some of them were hippies. So Narad Muni was so happy. Seeing him happy, I was also laughing. So I think it's similar pastime Prabhupada saw many times. Thank you, Prabhu, for sharing this. Actually, Srila Prabhupada, now that you're saying this, I'm remembering one lecture of Srila Prabhupada. This is on, Srila Prabhupada gave a series of lectures on 3rd canto, 24th and 25th chapter in 1974 in Bombay. So that is a series of lectures I was hearing recently. So in one of the classes, he says, what is the power of hearing like this in a class? So he says, he's speaking about Indian education system of 1920s when he was studying. He says, we had a system in our college that you would get a degree, you would get a certificate of graduation only if you pass the exam. But you are not allowed to give the exam unless you have 75% attendance in the college. But then Srila Prabhupada said, so Krishna will give you the certificate of Bhakti. He will give you the award of Bhakti only if you pass the exam that Krishna conducts in your life. But to be qualified to appear for the exam that Krishna conducts in your life, you should have 75% attendance in the Bhagavatam classes. And then Prabhupada said, but if you don't attend Bhagavatam classes and if you think Krishna is testing me, you are in illusion. It is not Krishna who is testing you, it is Maya Devi who is testing you. And Maya Devi's test, even if you pass, you have failed. What is the use of passing our exams? We want to pass the exams conducted by Krishna. And Krishna's exams, Krishna will conduct exam in our life only if we have 75% attendance. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada has many such amazing points would come in his classes. Yeah. Anything else anybody wants to say? Okay, I am remembering one letter of Srila Prabhupada. He wrote on July 8, 1972 to one of his disciples, Bhagavatanand. This is an amazing letter. I wish I had the exact words. Srila Prabhupada says, if you study books, all these books sincerely and hear Krishna Katha, Prabhupada says two things will happen. First, all the problems created by the mind will disappear forever. And second, Prabhupada says, you will see Krishna face to face. Amazing, isn't it? What are the two things Prabhupada said will happen if we hear his classes and read his books? First, all problems created by the mind will disappear forever. And second, we will see Krishna face to face. This is the power of Krishna Katha, reading scriptures. Hare Krishna. So we should stop here, Prabhu, unless you have some comments or questions.